All right, Charlie, you got something now?
Yeah, I guess. So,
Okay.
Billy, are you ain't ever planning to run for the points championship for a modified abundantly, are you?
No, I mean, just honestly, my days of racing every. I mean, I'm not retired by any means. I have a whole shop full of cars I can get in and go drive anytime I want to. But that's exactly what I'm going to do is what I want to. I'm going to tie myself down, commit myself to anything week after week. I'll soon have 7 grandkids. I just, I enjoy spending time with them. My family enjoys spending time with me more at the racetrack when I'm not driving. So I'm probably leaning that way.
Yeah. All right, let's see. All right, I found out my question. So, Nate, this is for you. So, going back, the last time, or a few minutes ago, I talked a little bit about my YouTube channel, and Nate is actually featured in my intro for my YouTube channel videos this year. So, it's not really a question. Just had to put that out there.
I'm really glad just to have the opportunity. Don't get much of those opportunities, big nor small. So it's just I do appreciate it, really.
Yes, sir. I'm trying to get a bunch of drivers into it.
And anytime these young drivers can get their name out there, all the views that intro is going to get throughout the season, not only for him, but, for our sponsors. I mean, we go out and we do car shows and we do, we do that to put our sponsors out there and to try to, we want to make it as seen as possible. We want people to walk into that business and say, hey, you know what? Saw your name on that race car. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I got you. And speaking of sponsors, Billy, I guess, or whichever one of y'all wants to start, I want y'all to thank y'all sponsors. Take a minute and thank y'all sponsors. I know they do a lot for y'all.
We'll let Nate take care of that, and just see how he does.
Well, we got a pretty big list. Of course, Dad talked pretty good about Velocita earlier. He's one of our biggest supporters with all the safety equipment and stuff that he does for us. And then, of course, we got Sights Metal Roof and Brian Sights. We got AML Wrestling, which is also my spotter, Brian Hawks. We have Joey Baker with Unlimited Services. I had mentioned Koger earlier. He's really good to us. He just came on board with us this year. He's been really good to us. And got to thank Zach Nixon as well with High Maintenance Christmas Trees. And then I believe there's a few Dad has that I don't as far as that goes. But that's pretty much the gist of everything I got there for you.
Gotcha. So shout out to you sponsors that helps Nate run and Billy. So Billy, I'll let you go ahead and discuss your sponsors.
Yep. So basically, those guys, Velocita and Koger Plumbing, they help both of us. Sykes Metal Roofing, Joey Baker, Unlimited Services. I have a couple of guys. Cooper Lowe from Quid Pro Pro Construction. That guy's been good to me. He helps me out with the modified. Brian Myers at Country Road Cornhole Boards. There's a couple of guys I'm trying to thank. Eric Messer. Eric Messer has helped us out some. We appreciate everything he does. Actually, he's doing some promo work for mostly the Robertsons right now, but he's I've been talking to him about possibly trying to help Nate out a little bit, making some videos and things. So that guy, he's a big help to what we do. Just trying to get people out there, trying to, people got to feel like they got some investment on their money when they do a sponsorship.
Yeah.
So we try to do hero cards with all the sponsors' names on them and T-shirts with all the sponsors' names on them and things like that. So we really appreciate those guys.
Yeah. Big help in it.
I'd also like touch on, he's not so much a sponsor as much as just a great guy to have around. Have to thank Randy Armstrong. What he does for us is he actually helps and teaches me everything I know about setting these cars up and making them fast enough to get into victory lane. So I do got to thank him.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, that guy's actually in Nashville, Tennessee. But from time to time, he takes his, time out of his busy schedule to come out here and give us a hand and show us what we're doing wrong and try to help us get faster. And, you can't, friends are great.
Yeah. Definitely. All right, let's see. Charlie, you got anything right now?
I think I may be just about done, Carl.
All right, well, I got another question. Actually, Nate, Billy, do y'all have any questions for me and Charlie?
I don't know. I don't have any questions for you guys. I just, I appreciate you guys having us on, and any opportunity we get to, talk about our sponsors and talk about what we've done and what we plan to do, we really appreciate it.
Yeah, pleasure to have you guys on. All right, let's see. All right, I've not asked this question yet. So I have a back in the day question. So, Nate, I'll start with you. So, back in the day question is basically, that's my catchphrase on here. You won't really find an episode without me asking about it back in the day. That is my catchphrase, of course. And it's like a best time in the past. Something to do with racing. Like the best time in the past racing.
I would have to say probably my most memorable moment racing wasn't really all that long ago. Of course, the earliest thing I remember of getting into racing was riding go-karts when I was 3 years old. That's kind of how it all started. But my most memorable moment in racing would be my finish. It was, I believe it was 21 or 22. I was leading the race and back to David Creed. It was last lap. I led the whole race, and coming out of 4, he took a shot at me, and we both bounced doors all the way down the front stretch until he ended up hitting the infield, and I got a checkered flag. That was pretty much my most memorable moment that I really enjoyed.
I gotcha. Sounds like a big moment. All right, Billy, what is your memorable moment of racing?
I don't know, man. I raced for a long time, and I I'd set some goals, and I winning the 50 lapper at Bowman Gray, and I won a couple of big races at Caraway that paid $1,500 and $2,000 to win. Bigger races and races at Ace Speedway. That I think for me it was probably. It was a race I didn't even win. Nate was leading. I had started in the back. I got the second. It was his birthday, and he outrun me. But that night, it was one of Nate's first wins. It was definitely the first time that he had outrun me. Like, he won and I finished second. Like, this ain't right. Like, I'm supposed to outrun him. That was huge for me because, that was kind of like the passing of the torch. The kid can drive.
Yeah. Yeah, and speaking, that is your back in the day moment. presented by SNR and spoken by Nate and Billy Gregg. So, yeah. All right, Charlie, have you found out anything yet? Are you still blank? No. All right, let's see. Now, all right, Billy. So, going back to the whole Nick Walsh situation back in 2022, you gave a great post-race interview talking about how Nick needs to learn how to start in a high gear, and then maybe, just maybe, he could pull off one of the starts and get himself a win.
Yeah, I think to this day he still ain't figured it out, boss. He's still winless. And there's a reason for that. It's called a lack of talent.
And actually, I'm not sure if you've ever heard of Landon Huffman, but his friend Moonhead on YouTube actually reacted to that whole Night of Destruction with Amberlynn and Casey Kepley, and then Nate, you, and Nick. I'll send you the link if you ain't seen it, but it's pretty funny.
Do what now?
Have you ever heard of Moonhead on YouTube? Yeah, he reacted to you, Nate, and Nick that night that it happened. He reacted to everything. It was like flow racing footage, and he was reacting to it. It's pretty funny. I've seen it.
Yeah, I didn't see it, but I think I know what you're talking about. Is that old man that yells at the TV?
Something like that. A little bit like that. I'll send you the link, though. Yeah,
no, I didn't see it, but at the end of the day, I mean, it didn't really have anything to do with me. I mean, Nick. So, I mean, I don't think Nick even missed a gear. He insists that he didn't. But if he didn't miss a gear, what he was doing was playing games on the restart, and he found out. As a matter of fact, it happened 2 weeks in a row. Nick was leading 2 weeks in a row, and Nate turned him on restart 2 weeks in a row and won the race. And, that second time that it happened when he destroyed Nate's car in the infield, they actually pulled me to the start-finish line and gave me the trophy and the checkered flag, and then later in the week reversed it and gave it to Nate.
Yeah. Let's see. Before we close the curtains on this episode, I kind of want to talk a little bit about the 2022 end of the season race. Y'all two was close in points, I believe. I'm not sure who was leading at the time. Was there any discussion at all between who was going to win, or is it just whoever finished in front of the other?
Well, so honestly, that day, that race, my car was broke. We couldn't figure out what was wrong with it at the time. Ended up figuring out that it was the rear end. The rear end was broke. We had the transmission out of it that day. We were working on the motor. We could not figure out what was wrong with my car. Earlier in the week, Nate and I had some discussions about, because we were so far ahead in points. I had Nate by or Nate had me by a couple of points or something. I was ahead of Nate by 6 or 8 points or something. And Nate was ahead of Brian Sykes, who was our other teammate, by over 100 points, which meant we could have stayed home and finished first and second. But we decided to go race for it. Nate ended up winning the race, and I ended up winning the championship. But, it definitely, there was times during the race when Nate had it won. He took the lead from third in turns 3 and 4 on the last lap, and it very well could have went the other way. I mean, it was very, very close, but we did not discuss one of us just handing it to the other. We knew we were going to go race for it.
Yeah, I got you.
We have Nate, and then we have Brian Jr.